This reading, the way I pull these cards, signifies taking a sample of you from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Okay. Princess of Cups, an open heart. Ten of Cups, Four of Swords, Ace, 10. Ooh, okay. Wow. All right. Well, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of fire, some earth, some water, and one single sword card, which is air. Let's start with the sword card. The Four of Swords, and this deck is called Truce. Fours are about the ground floor, and the Four of Swords is a card that expresses slowing down your mind, putting down arguments, putting down conversation, putting down thoughts, taking a pause on thinking, a rest from thinking. You can always pick those thoughts back up, but and falling in this place in the reading is talking about right now. That's what everything is based on. What you're dealing with right now is situated on lowering your thoughts, reducing your mind activity. So, and it's actually a very lovely card. There's a lot of resistance to that in our culture. There's a fear that if we're not thinking, we'll be in trouble, we'll miss something, we'll be late, we'll make a mistake. But I urge you to relieve yourself of that fear and slow your thoughts down, because more other things right now are calling your attention. Actually, there is another sword, and we're going to come to that one in a minute. Let's go back to the central two cards, the Princess of Cups and the Ten of Cups. The Princess of Cups, you'll see here, is very open. She's open and flowing, and she's the young woman expression of her suit. So it's the moving through the world undefended, unconcerned, carefree. This is expressing a truth about you currently. It's lovely, it's gentle, it's dreamy, actually. And it's paired with the Ten of Cups, which has to do with a climax of an emotional nature. A climax of emotions that's coming to some sort of closure that will put you in a position for starting over. So it's a curious combination because she's very light and delicate, and this actually has an intensity about it. we may be able to understand this pairing a little more as we move along. What falls just behind those two cards, which is regarding what's backing you up, what's from the recent past, is the Ace of Cups. So aces are always about beginnings, always about success, and oftentimes about the time frame of a year. And cups have to do with the heart, emotions, dreams, imagination, creativity. So a new beginning has occurred for you just in this recent past that is overflowing in your heart with sensibility of beginning, possibility, promise, hopefulness, joyfulness, creativity. And that's actually, it's got your back, actually. It's backing you up. It's standing there for you. So keep that in your court, in your corner, right? Know it's there and enjoy its presence. At the top of the reading is another 10. The 10 of discs, which is the suit of the real world, the suit of your physical reality or material plane. Again, as a 10, it's something, it's describing a cycle that's coming to a climax. A climax in things that are related to your physical reality. Your health, your body, your possessions, your housing, your work, your relationships, your finances. So it's speaking of, and this is falling in the position of the reading of what your hopes and dreams are. That you hope and dream you can enjoy a comfortable life, a stable life, a life full of those things that you consider valuable. And we'll know more about this card as we rearrange the cards in a few minutes. But I offer to you that you keep this up in your lights. You keep in your mind, in your heart, and your imagination a good life for yourself. Those things you do find that are quality to you, what are meaningful to you. Explore them, gather emblems of them, because it is really something to shoot for, something to aim for, something to plan for, have intentions about. Don't be shy about it. Don't fall a prey to ideas of lack mentality or reasons not to have those things that you love and enjoy and that comfort you and that make your life worth living. So ahead of you, another disc. This is the 8 of discs. It's called Prudence. This is a card in the position of the reading of where you're heading, where you actually are moving towards. And the 8s, when I describe 8s of their suits, again, this is in the material, real, physical world. They're about, if you were building a house, it would be a 2-story house. The ground floor would be everything you need to live with. And the second floor would be those extra luxuries, those the special layer of what makes you you. So you're moving into a time in which you can claim a life that suits you, and you have the resources and the relationships and the physical abilities and practices that qualify you and that are the resources that keep that in place for yourself. So again, I think these two cards in this back to back, really, this is the 5th card and the 6th card. They're saying you are capable, you have resources, you have abilities and skills to make your life complete. Now, the turning point card is a card also from this suit of swords, the Three of Swords, and it's called Sorrow. And it has to do with when your head and your heart are in conflict. The heart knows something in which the head has an argument with. Or the head is ready for something in which the heart isn't quite ready to move forward with. It's a time of being I don't know, I guess we could say a crossroads between the head and the heart. The way to work with this card is to allow both to be true at once. Don't try to make one or the other win, but give each one their validity, and then naturally the way will become apparent to you. You know, the conflict or the pain and sorrow sometimes has to do with needing one or the other, your head or your heart, to win out, when actually they are going to have equal standing, and that's where the new way becomes. So again, this is something I can maybe talk about more, but it may be speaking to you already. I would say to you, sorrow isn't a thing that we recognize very much in our culture, and yet it is incredibly valuable and extremely legitimate feature of our human condition. And sorrow takes time. So play with this piece of this card and know it is actually part of what your life is pivoting with. It isn't here to crush you. It isn't here to defeat you. It's actually literally as if it were your life is hinging on moving around a corner and this is that corner. What you have as like a guardian angel is the Queen of Wands. This is from the suit of wands, meaning the suit of spirit, energy, intuition, spirit, creativity, activity, action of like the fuel of inspiration. So around you, this is not a card that you have control over. It's not a card you have responsibility for. It's actually something that the reading is saying to you, you're being gifted with. And this could be, you could imagine this as angels, as guides, as the spiritual plane being as an oversight to you, for your benefit. Yeah, she's a very strong character in the reading. She's actually one of my favorite cards of the deck. And so I want you to know that the entire reading is actually very powerful, very promising, and so keep her as an image in your mind, that you have these resources, you have these allies with you, and you might be able to communicate, to connect, to keep your eye open for guidance, for signs, for surprises. So the card of the reading, here's another wands. Actually, there's 3 wands in a row here coming to the end of your reading. This is the 7 of Wands. It's called Valor. Very energetic, powerful energy. This is the card in the reading that stands for how you can best spend your time and attention. And it expresses standing up for yourself. Standing up for what you feel, what comes to you intuitively. You can't explain it, you can't defend it, you can't prove it, but you have the energy of feeling of it. And that is where you need to be standing strong in. And actually the wands behind this are expressing similarly to this card. You're being backed up. You're being backed up for that. So I want to offer to you that this is incredibly positive, that you are on the right track, and you need to follow those instincts, those impulses. Don't doubt yourself, and don't reduce the motions and the expressions that you would take by following these impulses. The top of the reading is the Prince of Wands. Princes in their suits always have to do with going somewhere, making a move, taking action. Again, it's the suit of the spirit. It's the prince of the suit, meaning going places that are new, going to the edges of what's considered conventional or traditional or accepted even. The prince and princesses of their suit they signify the youth, the youthful spirit, the young generation, the ones who need to go out and explore, discover, and find things out for themselves and break new ground. So this is at the top of the reading saying, this is where everything is headed, is reaching out, branching out, and actually moving with a new spiritual fire and inspiration. I'm going to rearrange them, and we'll see what they say in their duets. Okay. Okay, let's just start. Let's start with you standing up for yourself, for your impulses, for your inspiration, for that stepping out and standing up for yourself. It's paired now with the Ace of Cups. So we spoke of this earlier, that there's been something recent that's renewed you in an emotional way, in a way that fills up your heart. And having these two put together, I would say to you that that occurrence is spiritually designed, and that as you reflect on it and refer to that energy of that new heart initiation in yourself, that it's a promising combo. So don't doubt it. It's a gift. It's a gift that this has come, this ace of hearts. And now you have this fiery confidence of a sensibility of it's now or never, actually, maybe something along the lines of, I'm not going to stand down. I'm not going to hide in the shadows. I'm going to activate myself as I'm guided by my spirit. Here is the Princess of Cups. Let's go back to this cup, which is now paired with that great, beautiful 8 of discs, which is literally in the shape of a tree, a sturdy tree, a tree that has made it through many years, and now is still putting out new growth, but it's strong and established and very much, almost unshakable. Its status is not in question. So now it's paired with the Princess of Cups. And I would offer to you that new beginning of emotional opening or renewal to yourself is, even though it may put you in touch with something very tender, very delicate, very young, actually understand also that it's connected with your strength, your groundedness, the ways you've lived up until now that have qualified you to be on earth, to actually even claim a space on earth. Your housing, your work, your relationships, your health, your money. So it's a beautiful combination. This lovely, gentle, flowing heart with this very strong, sturdy tree energy of groundedness in the real world. Here is the Ten of Cups, which we spoke of, emotional cycle coming to a climax, which is about to, it harkens to an ending which presents a beginning. Actually, you have the Ace and the 10 both in your reading, so it's like simultaneously an emotional cycle is coming to a close as an emotional cycle has just arrived. And that may be this place where the sorrow occurs. Again, don't experience that as punishment or a shadow or a sign that you should retreat or go in deny yourself. I think it really means to indulge it, to honor it, to witness it for yourself, and find, if you need, a container that's holy, that will witness that with you, that will support you through it, and that will protect you while you actually are vulnerable to needing to slow down in honor of sorrow. Here is the Queen of Swords paired with the Four of the Queen of Wands paired with the Four of Swords. Again, I think this pairing is saying to me, you're being protected. You don't need to think a lot of thoughts. Your life right now has a pilot, and you don't need to watch all the instruments in the plane. You don't need to keep track of all the maps and compasses, and you need to rest your mind and avail yourself of this more powerful spiritual, I used the word ally before, but it's more than an ally. It's more like, I would use the word something, let's see if I can get it. Cohort. You have a spiritual cohort around you, and they've got their eyes on the, they're watching for the details. So please, don't trip yourself up with mental details. If you feel the urge to do such a thing, cast your mind towards these caring and skillful and efficient and greater powers than yourself, and become companions with those. Give them that role for a while. The Prince of Wands is paired with the Ten of Discs, and again, this energy of going to a new edge of your spiritual practice or spiritual expression is paired with an ending cycle somehow on the physical plane. So again, tens being a climactic time. I think this pairing, I'm going to offer to you that as these two are paired, it's a signifier that this following this energy, this go power of ignition and intuition and impulse and instinct actually will I think it's not taking you away from physical and material security. It's being it's operating in the realm of the real world. I think this is what this is telling me. You're not going to leap off the planet. You're not going to go up in flames. You're actually going to live in the real world, and it's going to feel great from the inside. Things from the outside may appear similar, but everything will be different because you'll be expressing yourself and motivating yourself with this fiery, explorative, adventurous spirit. All right. That's mainly the high points of the reading. I don't know what I might otherwise say. I usually look at the very bottom card of the deck, which here is the Empress. Look at the Empress. She comes from a separate and special suit from the deck called the Major Arcana, and she is a 3. She's beautiful. She's like Mother Nature. She rules over creativity and nurturing and protectivity and renewal. Now, being a 3, I would tell you that she's a great balm for this card, which is darker in the deck. She's cooler, and she's a relief. So take advantage of nature, of the beauty of life, which is always presenting. It's always flowing. We feel experiences that tend to kind of consume us, but actually there's this beauty all around us at all time. The blue sky, the clouds, the water, the flowering plants. When you have doubts or when you feel those pangs of darkness and anxiety, call on this beautiful Empress to put her arms around you, to soothe you, to guide you, to support you. I will say finally, wow, what should I say finally? Let's put the cards in suit order. 2 cups, 2 wands, 3 wands, 3 cups, 2 swords, and 2 discs. And the single major that was at the bottom of the deck. So in physical reality, I would say you don't have concerns. You don't need to worry about it. There is an ending of a cycle, but there's a beautiful, firmly established, I'm going to use the word safety net, but that's not really a safety net because you're not really going to be falling. It's just almost as if you're going to be moving out of one location and entering another location. It's like you're selling a house, maybe downsizing, okay? And then the 2 swords, the very light blue, calm 4, which says don't get upset, don't drive yourself with your head. And then the sorrow card, which is please allow yourself to have your thoughts and don't try to cancel them out with your heart. Here's your fiery wands, amazing trio. It says move with those impulses, follow your instincts. You are being guided and blessed. Here's a sweet trio, an ending cycle of the heart, a beginning cycle of the heart, and this open-hearted, undefended, naturally flowing, young-hearted woman, all being wrapped by the blue-green flowing impress of the creative world. It's a lot to take in. Don't worry about trying to remember everything. You're on a great path. Trust that. Okay.